Jaguar set out to do just that.
They had an incredibly successful run with the D-Type. They won Le Mans 3 years in a row. And they had some extra chassis, and so they weren't quite sure what to do with it. So they decided to make a road version of their Le Mans winning car. That car was the XKSS.
The designers at Jaguar made the windshield taller and wrapped it around the side to protect both the driver and the passenger, and added small doors. As the racing car transformed, the wing became a luggage rack, a place to carry clothes and picnic baskets. It would be a luxury automobile without comparison.
If you take a look at an XKSS in terms of its performance compared to the competition, it was not only quicker, it accelerated much faster. It also had a higher top speed.
The Jaguar XKSS would never get the chance to live up to its promise. In February 1957, just as production was getting underway, a fire ripped through the wing of the factory where the car was manufactured. Only 18 cars survived. But the story behind the XKSS, a road car born out of a race car, epitomizes the things Ralph Lauren looks for in his cars and his design. At his studio in New York, Ralph Lauren readies his new line. Now it's just a matter of finding the right combination that will result in the perfect look.
First you're dealing with fabrics, then you're dealing with the product, and then the model comes in, and all of a sudden she puts on the clothes and say, oh my God.
Only one thing remains for the new collection. On the runway at New York City's Fashion Week, Lauren shows his clothes for the first time to the press and the fashion critics. A car collection inspires a runway collection.
I've often said about my clothes, they look better next year than they do this year. So in designing, I'm always designing things that have a sense that they will stay forever. That's how I design. I'm really very happy working at the process. I'm very happy when I hit a good day and all of a sudden it comes together.
In Essex, Massachusetts, Paul Russell and his team are running out of time. The opening of the exhibit at the Museum of Fine Arts is just days away, and the Alfa Romeo's exhaust system still hasn't been finished.
We still have a lot of work to do on various auxiliary systems for the engine, but in order to figure out exactly where the header pipe goes up into the manifold, this has to be set in the chassis for test fit.
It is painfully slow and careful work. One slip could damage the chassis or the engine and set the team back weeks. The pressure is on to finish. At Boston's Museum of Fine Arts, the moment has finally arrived. Speed, style, and beauty is ready to open. Taking their place among the great painters and sculptors of the world are Bugatti, Mercedes, McLaren, Porsche, Jaguar, Bentley, and Ferrari.
It was very hard picking which Ferraris to have in the show. He's got so many great ones, but it felt like it would be lopsided to just have half of the show be just Ferraris. And, you know, here they are. Ralph's slightly used car garage here.
The exhibit opens. A collection that began as a personal passion makes its public debut. Ralph Lauren knows each of his automobiles intimately, but this is the first time he will see them all together, presented as sculpture.
I was dazzled. It was like seeing my cars for the first time. They were all dressed up, they were all set up, they were beautiful. They were art pieces, each and every one of them. You looked at it like you never looked at it before. And if you think about these cars, the cars that were at that show, most of them were designed for racing. And they were not designed to be shown in a gallery. And they were not designed for the art. They were designed for function, to race fast and win races. And accidentally, they turned out to be the most beautiful cars in the world.
When I made the decision to mount the exhibition, I frankly expected it to be a controversial decision. But over and over again, people have come to me and said, you know, I was skeptical when I came to the exhibition. Now I've seen the things, they're beautiful. People are almost trying to contain what is a feeling of joy and excitement in them. It's very, very interesting. And I think that's partly to do with the fact that these objects do unleash the pleasure principle in people. They do have an element of fantasy in them. So we're perhaps a little bit shy about expressing it, but you can see it just in the way people look, the way they're smiling, and the way they're talking with one another.
Taking its place among the storied cars is an automobile that has won one final race. The 1938 Alfa Romeo Mille Miglia is in the gallery.
The Alfa Romeo is a gorgeous scarlet beauty, there's no doubt about that, and it sets an extraordinary standard of design. It's been a star of our exhibition.
Nearly 2 years of work have brought the Alfa Romeo back to its original glory. Every detail true to the original design. Fenders repainted, seats remade in their red splendor, air intakes, headlamps, every meticulous detail, save one. Time ran out on the team, and the car still has no engine. So it's back to Paul Russell's shop, where he and his team have a second chance at completing the car. Ralph Lauren has one final challenge for his prized automobile: to put it in competition against some of the greatest cars in the world. In California, at the storied Pebble Beach Concours des Lagons, where every car in the competition has been restored to perfection. With 2 years of work on the chassis, fenders, and body, the Alfa is nearly complete. Now, just a few extra details remain. A screen used to regulate the temperature of the engine, and covers for the headlights, a feature Russell unearthed in his research.
By studying the pictures, we could see they had these Perspex covers, these red plastic covers over them. Also, underneath that, if you looked at them very, very closely, they had stone guards. I made a mock-up out of brass wire cloth to give us an idea of how the system works, and then what the look is to replicate the photograph, so that we can kind of see where we're headed with this project.
It is the type of detail that the judges at Pebble Beach will be looking for, that can give the car a winning edge. Now, the challenge for Russell is completing the final pieces in time. Pebble Beach, California. Paul Russell and his team have done it. Ralph Lauren's 1938 Alfa Romeo 8C2900 is now fully restored.
We took somewhere in the region of a year and a half to get this car to what it is today. And it's so great to be a part of it and bring it back to life.
The Alfa is ready for its unveiling in a competition against other classic cars at the Pebble Beach Concours des Lagons. Before that trip, though, the Alfa team is preparing for a premiere of their own, showing the completed car for the first time to Ralph Lauren.
It's a lot better.
Amazing. And the real beauty of this car is it's a really subtle, the details start coming at you. They just start coming at your eye. And you start to see all these little things on it, all these little details. The car becomes more exciting, more amazing.
Lauren has made hundreds of choices throughout the restoration process. Now there's just one question remaining. Research uncovered photographs that showed the car with lens covers that served the function of protecting the headlights during a race.